Hi there, and welcome to Simi Pickleball Podcast number 4. That's hard for me to say. This is Flo Trapani.
Hi.
And I'm Todd Johnson. Let's talk about coaching on the court.
Okay.
I only do that when people tell me, and sometimes people go, hey, you got any tips? Usually I don't, because I haven't really been thinking about what they're doing wrong or right, but sometimes I do when they don't ask.
Yeah, you do, because you do with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't ask, but he tells me.
And is that good or bad?
It depends.
Yeah, but you're my partner, so maybe I do it more with you. And I try not to.
Yeah. I don't know enough about pickleball, honestly. I mean, I love playing it and all that kind of stuff, but I do not feel in any position whatsoever knowledgeable enough to coach anyone on the court. Other than there's only one thing, it's if someone doesn't come up after service return, then I say come up. But other than that, I don't like to coach on the court.
Usually when people ask me for tips, most of the time it's about where they stand when they serve. Because the opposing team keeps hitting it to their backhand, and you should really never have to hit a backhand unless it's your better shot, which is pretty rare. So usually I tell people to move, the right-handers move more left and hit from either the very middle or the very left side of the court.
So has anyone tried to coach you on the court?
Yes, yeah. And it's tough because, I have my opinion and they just say, well, you should be doing this. And the next ball's coming. I can't really defend why I'm doing what I'm doing. So it's tough. It has to be done like when the ball's not coming. So maybe take a time out and talk about what you want to talk about, positioning or whatever. Anybody ever coach you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Martine?
Oh my God. Yes, so we were playing in San Diego just a few weeks ago, and this 5-0 player, which I didn't know he was a 5-0 player until Steve Grossman told me, kept telling me to do all these different things, and I just got so out of my game, and we ended up getting beat. And so I said, I want to play with him again. And I said, I want to play the way I want to play. And then we played that way, and then we beat the team. But, I think I'm not against coaching, but kind of in the middle when you're playing, that's kind of tough. And you're trying to think of everything that person's telling you. And I do think a huge percentage of people know more about pickleball than I do. I really do. And so I kind of want to listen to some of the things they say, but it's a little tough.
It's tough. It's tough, especially when you don't want it. But that doesn't happen very often. I want to start a little segment called "How Would I Play You?" Right? What do I look for in an opponent, and what do I do to cancel their strengths or whatever? How do you play me? What do you look for?
Okay, again, I really feel I'm not that knowledgeable in people's strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
I don't process like maybe most people process. If I'm playing you though, I do like to play you at the net, because I think you have a harder time defending a fastball at the net.
Yes. Yeah, I think you have faster hands than I do. So that's a good plan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you can do it. What I do with you is try to make it bounce to your forehand, because that's, to me, your weakest shot. Also, when you do get set up and you hit it out of the air, I take a step back so I can have a little more time to figure that ball out. So
how do you figure that out? When you're playing in a tournament and you've just maybe met these players for the first time, how long does it take you to figure out these people's strengths and weaknesses?
Well, at least half a game. It depends upon how often they get a shot. Like some people, they do the same shot twice, then I kind of know they're going to do it again. That's their...
Right.
But how often do they get the same shot twice within the first half of a game? It really depends on who you're playing with. And
so like when we first started playing tournaments, or I started playing tournaments, and some of my female partners, they didn't really know either. So we would, and you should never do this, we would look at our opponents and look at someone that maybe wasn't as athletic looking, and it would be like, oh, what's our strategy? And, hit the girl with the ponytail.
Yeah.
I mean, without even knowing anything. And then we'd hit the girl with the ponytail the whole time, and really there was no reason for it other than maybe she didn't look as athletic. And I've kind of learned from there not to do that.
Yeah, you picked the wrong strategy. You need to
there was
readjust.
no strategy. It was just on how they looked.
Well, hitting to one player is very common. That's like the first thing people do. Hit to the
Yeah, and I
weaker
kind
player.
of wonder what you guys do. How you, again, there's, the really experienced players probably have a different answer, but just us kind of common folk tournament players, I wonder what you guys do.
Ask me about how I play any certain player.
How do you play, let's pick a different player that we haven't talked about all the time. How do you play Dave Santillo?
Well, he's tough. He's so fast, and he has a very strong forehand, so I play to his backhand. Go soft to his backhand. He's got a decent backhand dink, but nowhere near as strong or formidable as his forehand.
Okay, so, because I do know who this pro is. I don't know a lot of pros, but how would you play Ben Johns?
Hit to his partner. I mean...
What if his partner is, and I know who she is too?
Well, again...
Annalie Jones, or Annalie...
Jones.
Annalie something.
Waters.
Oh, Annalie Waters.
Like Ben, I would hit to his backhand because from watching him, it's not as strong as his forehand, but still, he would kill me. So.
Sure.
Partner.
How would you play...
Somebody we know.
Somebody we know. Kathy, I said. How would you play her?
I lob her.
Okay. And she's a good lobber. She lobbed us and beat us. How would you play Bruce Rubin?
Again, soft to his feet. He's likes to drive, and he's good at it. So he's not as dangerous when I hit to his backhand dink. What I see a lot of my students do is hit to a ball they think is going to be a winner. They'll attack all the time. Versus I'm going to hit to Bruce's backhand, not because I'm going to win the point, but because he can't hurt me. So it's a longer term point.
Right. Well, yeah, because you're always thinking a few points ahead of time.
No, that's all I think is like, where am I not going to get hurt? Because I just assume they're going to return it. So if I attack Bruce, I better hit the right spot or he's probably going to beat me. So if you have any questions about how I would play you, I'd love to know. So I made a new website called Simi Pickleball Podcast.
When did you do that?
I had a beer earlier.
I'm on medication, and
Simi
so
Pickleball
I'm a little out of it.
Podcast at yahoo.com. So I'd love to hear your questions or how I would play people.
What? We have had some questions since our debut, which is kind of cool. So we do appreciate it, you guys. I think it's kind of cool. I've had some private or text, saying, "Oh, can you talk about this or can you talk about that?" So Todd has written down some of the subjects that people would like to hear about. And we even got Eileen Willis to say she would be a guest on our couch here. Eileen is Santa Clarita player, very good, very tough. Got a golden ticket this year for women's doubles, I believe.
4-0, right?
Yeah, 4-0. She's one of my female partners.
So one of the subjects somebody asked for was, when newer players get better than you, how does your ego handle that? Do you want to avoid them on the court? What do you do?
And actually, I that's not really what he asked. What he said was that since he's gotten better, not that he's better than the other players, but he's gotten better, he said that some players won't play him because he feels that they think, they think if he beats them, they don't want him to beat them. And so I was trying to think back when I first started out, and I did get better, and some of the better players didn't want to play me. I don't know, maybe that was the reason. You know, I think if a player, if you're better than somebody else and that person beats you, I actually think it's pretty cool, you know, that they've gotten better. Yeah, your ego gets in the way a little bit, but it's kind of nice that, for me, like when I recognize some of the, let's say about a year or 2 years ago, Kelly Mata started to beat me, Julie Diaz, some of the girls that I would beat kind of semi-regularly would then go on to beat me, and I was like, at first like, oh my gosh, and then I was like, this is so great. This is you know, because I'm not playing for money, I'm not, you know, not a pro or anything like that, and it's kind of neat to see people really advance and getting better.
Yeah, and I feel that a lot too, that as a coach, people want to gauge themselves against me, and I like it too. I think they should, and I don't mind losing to them, especially if they're younger, and they always are. So,
yeah.
But if they hit only to my partner, then I don't like it, and I'm going to try to beat them. So, because then they'll go back and say, oh, I beat Todd, even though I didn't get a ball.
Yeah, I've heard that so many times.
But like,
and I try to say, no, you really didn't beat Todd. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, because they're like, oh, I beat Todd. No, I saw the game, you know, and Todd's not really playing at full strength. But Todd really doesn't have as big of ego as most and even in life. He's pretty, unless he talks about his education.
I have big things,
doesn't-
just not ego. So, like Ryan Loftus, right? I knew him when he was kind of starting out, and he's better than me now. I don't know that he knows that.
Hey,
but
Ryan, we love you, Ryan. So the other day, somebody sent me a screenshot of a comment that Ryan made on Facebook. And the person that sent it to me said, is he being serious about this comment? And so, and I didn't really understand what he was talking about, so I had to go back to the Facebook page to look, and there was some sort of dialogue going on about Todd for some reason, and I said Todd's an amazing person, and then Ryan Loftus said he's a has-been. So I thought, oh my God, does Ryan really think Todd's a has-been?
Yeah, what did I say?
Yeah, and I feel like, hey, if people can have their opinions, and whatever they feel, that's what they feel. I would never, you know, I'm probably not going to be his friend if he's calling Todd a has-been on Facebook. So I texted Ryan. I said, hey, Ryan, this is Flo, because he probably didn't have my number. You know, and I'm like, it's okay if you do think Todd's a has-been, but I was just kind of curious. And he's like, oh my God, no, I was just kidding. So that's a whole nother story, how Facebook messages can get out of hand.
Hey, Ryan's
Sorry.
gotten much better. I'm happy to lose to him. You know, he's younger, and he's going to be even better. So
I don't like to lose to people that think they're so great.
no, Ryan's got it under control.
No, I know that, but I mean,
Yeah.
some people think they're better than you. And, you know, in my group, everyone could be better one day, not the next day, in the group that I normally play with. But there are some people that just, again, a lot of it's from park and rec, right? You're playing park and rec, and then you play in a tournament, and then they lose to you. And then, you know, it's like, no, they're not better than you, but they're playing at a different level than you in park and rec. And when you're in a tournament, then you play at a higher level. But that bothers me. If someone's kind of an idiot on the court, I don't want to lose to them when they're an idiot on the court. When they're, you know, good.
Like who? Come on, spit it out,
they
girl.
know, you know who you are.
You know, yeah, that's right. You could just point at yourself. Okay. So on another subject, when I learned pickleball, I learned about this third shot drop, and I was pretty good at it. I was comfortable. I don't know why. Because I came from tennis, and most tennis players take a long time to learn that. But I learned that pretty quick, and I used it for years as a third shot. And I could never figure out why people would drive a third. Well, I figured it out last year. And the reason is sometimes when I'm way deep behind the baseline, I hit a third shot drop. It's got to go pretty high to make it. Well, then it bounces high on the other side. You don't get in but to the transition zone, and they can hit down on the ball, and I lose the point. So after a few times of doing that at a higher level, I'm going, this is not working. I'm hitting great third shot drops, but they're hitting down on the ball and winning the point. So what I started to do is drive that third. They would hit it back and draw me in. And the next shot would be inside the baseline, and I could hit a lower drop from there. So it's a third shot drive, fifth shot drop, which I was happy to learn, and I'm using it today. So that's maybe something you should learn, Flo.
I should learn a lot. I'm sorry. Can we just talk about people? That's why I'm here. Let's just talk about people.
I should have asked you that earlier. Okay, what do you want to talk about people?
No, just kidding. This is good. You give information to people. They want to hear.
We'll see which part they like better.
The
informational part or the people part. Put your hand away from me.
These are questions that people
Put them
asked.
down. Okay, because I have another one, which is more mechanical than people.
That's fine. You just talk about mechanical, and I'll just think about what I'm going to eat for breakfast tomorrow.
When you hit your third shot and you're coming in, what's your plan?
And I hit it correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I'm coming in, I'm going to attack it pretty quick. Yeah.
So when you hit a bad third shot, what do you do?
The same.
What? Just rush up?
Yes. I do the
That's
same.
what I wanted to talk to you about.
That's why I wanted Kelly Mata and her group to teach me a third shot, but they declined my request. Kelly.
Do you ever hit a fifth shot drop?
I don't know.
Yeah. When I play locally, some people are hitting, they're in the transition zone, hitting a ball at their feet. They're hitting it hard. They're driving it. And I go, that's what I want to see. That way I get to hit down on the next ball at their feet. So I would encourage people that are driving that fifth shot from the transition, are you actually listening? To drop it. So we do the fifth shot drop drill. So
say that again.
I need more beer, or need you to quit doing that. Okay. Let's see.
By the way, we learn a little bit, and we'll probably learn after this podcast, but I learned to put longer shorts on.
You are smart. You're smarter than I thought. What about stacking? Do you know anything about stacking?
I do, and I love stacking. I
okay,
enjoy
good.
it.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's move on.
Would you want to? Probably most people know stacking.
Well, how can you roll people into stacking?
I know it's all right.
Well, you're a lefty.
Yes, I am.
And you kind of try to force everybody to stack what you play
I
with.
force you guys. No, here's what I do. I prefer stacking.
Yeah.
But I will always ask somebody new, like, again, especially park and rack, and if they don't want to, if they're not comfortable, then I'm not going to stack with them.
So how do you approach it?
I just say, do you want to stack? And they say, what's that? And some people
and you push them like you got them over?
Because I actually, there's a lot of touching involved, so some of the guys, they don't mind when we're stacking, because I get to, some of the older guys, probably the young guys, probably like, don't touch me. But I kind of push them where to go. But some people,
you disguise your fetish for people as a pickleball move?
Yeah, my wanting to just push them.
Yeah.
It's all pickleball.
I get that at home, yeah. Okay, so that's stacking. You're good with that?
Sure.
Okay.
It's your show, Todd. I'm just sitting on a couch next to you.
Okay. What to look for in a partner? We're talking doubles. What do you look for in a partner? What's the number one criteria?
In a female partner?
Either one.
Well, I have my regular partners, so I look for kindness.
Number one criteria is kindness.
I don't know if that's number one, but I like people that are nice. I don't know. I look for, when I first started playing pickleball, I played with Jackie Hummel. Hi, Jackie, out in Utah. And we were so good for so long. Well, we weren't that good. We thought we were good. Actually, I guess we started playing tournaments. We played at a higher level. Todd said, go play at a lower level because you're getting your asses whooped. So we played at the lower level and then worked our way back up. then Jackie moved away, and then I was really flattered when Sue Smith asked me to play, because Sue was like one of our premier players here in Simi, and she asked me to play with her in a tournament, and I was like shocked. And so we started playing, and we did really well too. But Sue she lives halfway in Simi Valley, or half the time in Utah. So I ended up with Dawn Rubin and Eileen Willis as kind of regular partners, and I love them all. No, you have to kind of, your personalities have to gel, but also your playing styles have to gel. Playing with a lefty, I think is tough. I think it's tough for a righty, for anyone to play with a lefty. And I like my partners that allow me to do what I do best. And that is kind of taking the middle at the net. So maybe that's what I would say, that these girls are really good about that, because they're really strong in other areas.
So somebody who will do your bidding.
Yeah, someone who'll do what I say. Yeah.
Oh, that's a part of it, right? I mean...
No, that's not it.
You don't think so?
No.
So if they keep fighting you for the middle, then it'll work out anyway?
Maybe not.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's not the whole thing, but a little bit of it is...
Yeah.
Who's going to take that middle? And you're strong there, so...
Yeah.
So
what
now
about
if you
and
play
I?
with Ben Johns...
What about you and I in the middle?
What about it?
I'm asking you. You just said I'm strong there. Am I?
You are.
So who takes the middle with you and I?
You.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I usually play behind you. So what I look for in a partner is, number one criteria is similar ability level.
Yeah.
Because it's just tough if I'm getting picked on, and I played with Tom Furman and I got every ball and I lost it for us. I play with some lower level players and I don't get a ball. It's just very frustrating. So
but you're so nice, because a lot of lower level, can't say that 3 times, players have asked you to play.
Right.
And you always say yes.
Right.
And you're so nice. And
that's a whole other subject. Do you ask other people, or do other people ask you?
I typically do not ask other people to play. I'm fortunate to have people that have asked me. So no, I don't.
I'm the same. I don't.
Right.
I rarely ask people to play, which is, I think, a downfall in some ways. If you want to get better.
And actually, one of my female partners, she doesn't ever ask me to play her husband. So Dawn Rubin, who I love playing with, I think she might have asked me for one tournament, but it's usually Bruce that asks me to play with her. I don't know why. I'll have to ask Bruce that. Why does he ask me to play with her? I don't know. Maybe because Bruce and I are friends, because after he bought me that nice gift at that Christmas party.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, the most important is similar ability level. I get along with everybody I've played with. I've never had anybody that, was out of bounds somehow. So played with Peter Shaw, and I felt like he and I were nice and even. He's out of San Diego. Brad Drew and I were very even.
Yeah, and you guys looked alike, you and Brad.
And he was a lefty, which is good. So that worked out. Drop volley.
I don't even know what that means.
Tell us what a drop volley is.
I have no clue. Sorry, no clue. I can look at my phone while you talk about drop volley, because Kaylee just texted me. I'll just text her back. Go ahead. Talk about drop volley.
No, if you're going to go on your phone, we'll wait.
Okay.
So yeah, because when you do that, then I have to edit, and editing is kind of painful.
Why do you have to edit? Again, we're just sitting on our couch talking. I thought that's what this was going to be about. I thought you said it wasn't professional. It was just us and giving some information to people we know.
Okay. So you think you being on your phone is giving information to
Todd,
people
you want
know?
to talk about drop volley? Talk about drop volley. Just talk about drop volley.
Okay. Well, that everybody knows around here that that's one of my favorite shots, and it's, at the 4-0 level, it's
honestly,
right.
I don't even know what that is. So tell me what the drop volley is. I swear.
If you're at the net and I'm at the baseline, hit you the ball hard, and you hit it in the air and put it in the kitchen and drop it, and I run up and I can't get it, you see me do that, right? That's a drop volley.
Okay.
So you didn't know that?
No, I did not know that.
You and I practice that when we warm up.
Well, I don't even know that's the name of it.
Oh, okay.
So
Whenever I do it, many people say, "Oh, I wish I could do that." And I'm going, it's one of the easiest shots to hit because your paddle is still.
oh, okay, I know what you're talking about now. Right, because I do it with you a lot.
And warm up.
Right, but then when it comes to the real game,
You just don't think of it. But you actually
No,
do
I think I've
sometimes.
been doing
But
it.
you don't stop your paddle. You swing through it a little bit and don't
Yeah.
really drop it
Yeah,
as
yeah,
much
yeah.
as you could.
I think I did it a few times at this last tournament. I think I did that.
That's
Okay.
good. I'm glad to hear that because it's very effective. At our level, at our age, it's very effective. Now, I wouldn't counsel it for some of the younger guys, Ryan, because those guys will get it and you're just pulling them up.
Oh, yeah,
So-
that's right.
So what part of your game are you working on?
I'm not.
Okay, fair enough. What you're saying is that you just go out and have fun.
Yes, I go out and have fun,
Uh-huh.
but when I play tournaments,
How many people that we know do you think have that same mindset?
I think there's a lot of people, probably at Lemon Park. They're more about having fun. Duck Park. I mean, I don't ever go to it play at Park and Rec and go, I want to lose today. That's not
of
what I
course.
do. But I honestly don't mind if I have a good game. If I play bad, I don't like it. Win or lose. Even if we win and by some fluke, even though I'm playing bad, I don't like that. But I don't. If there was a magic wand that could just make me better, I would love that to happen.
Yeah, but-
I don't want to put in the work.
But you have improved.
Yeah, I've improved. Well,
What have you improved?
I've improved. I don't know. I guess overall, I'm starting the lob now.
Yeah.
Susie
There
Lava.
you go. So that's kind of what you're working on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I'm
More or
working on
less.
it.
More or less.
I think it just,
Yeah.
kind of came to me.
I know you
finally.
worked on your third shot drop.
I try, but
Yeah, I mean, that's what
But I don't
everybody
spend.
does.
I don't spend. What am I? 5 minutes before a game starts, and I'm out there.
No,
doing-
but to me, that's not what it is. It's more like when you go out to play.
Right.
I think about, okay, this is what I'm going to work on today. You instead think about who am I going to see, or tell me what you think about.
Well, I think about who I want to play with.
Yeah.
Right. Who's going to be there? Where we're going to go for lunch? Things
Right,
like that. But
right.
I do think. I'm not saying that I don't think about the game. I do. Again, in a tournament or a round robin. I think my mindset is differently than when I just go to Park and Rec.
I'm working on my left hand. I find sometimes that my feet aren't quick enough to get that wide dink way on the side. So, and I've been using it two-handed. So I've incorporated a two-hander at the net in the last year. So that's what I was working on.
I see a lot of people do that now. Two-hander.
Like who?
Marilyn?
Yeah. At the net?
Oh no, not at the net.
Yeah, she's starting to drive
Yeah.
a two-hander.
Yeah.
There's not-
Doesn't Kathy Isett do that? really?
Not much. No, Steve Grossman has been using it.
Oh, okay.
And he and I started using it around the same time. I don't really know anybody else that's using a two-hander. So on that really wide dink, I can't reach it with my two-hander. So now I'm working on letting go and hitting that with just my left hand. And hopefully that will compensate for my slow feet. Right? You got to compensate.
Yes.
So the other way I compensate is on the service return. Like if I return the serve hard and I'm coming in and they hit the ball hard back, I'm halfway up and they've got my feet and I'm in a bad spot. So either I lob it, that gives me time to get all the way up, or lately I've been working on short hopping the serve. And that way I'm coming in, I'm already inside the baseline by the time I hit the ball. And that gets me up. And that's the people I play should be noticing that something's different. Because there's not many people that short hop the service return.
Right.
Thanks for staying interested. That's very kind of you. We got to think of special things for you. Calling balls out.
Oh my God.
There we go. There we go.
Listen, I think 99% of the players I think we all call what we think we see.
I think
I
so
do.
too.
I do. I think we do. I think there are a couple players that, when too many players say that another player always calls a ball out, I think it kind of, that player has got to realize that maybe they, either they're not seeing it right.
It's, you see it way out and they call it good. How often does that happen? It's pretty rare. So if somebody makes a mistake, invariably it helps their team. Psychologically, maybe humans just have to do that.
Well, and I think and here's another thing that drives me nuts. I think that was out. And I always tell everyone, no, if you think it's out, it's not out.
There's doubt there.
Right. I think it was out. Well, was it out? And then people go, oh, this is just park and rec. Let's play it over. Even though I say park and rec's different than tournament, I don't want to play it over. I want you to be, it was out or it wasn't out. So one time I was playing with Todd, and I was playing his 4 or 5 friends. It was me and then 3 4 5s, and I think we hit a ball to them, they hit it back, and I called it out. And so it was my turn to serve. I called it out. And then as soon as I said the score, whatever the score was, 10-7, Todd goes, oh no, that ball was out. And I was so angry at him. It's like, is that a timely call? If he had thought that, do you remember that time?
Of course.
Yeah. I was like, I felt I was embarrassed. Oops, sorry. I was embarrassed. I was like, like, first of all, he's questioning my call.
I called it good, is what happened, but I called it late.
He called it. So anyway.
I call it late. I mean.
Yeah, after I'm serving the ball, that game was over. Again, not something I'm so proud of. I walked off the court. I walked off the court. I left them, the 3 players alone. The girl, she was so nice. She's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm out of here. I was, 7 miles from home. I just started walking home, called a friend of mine. He came and picked me up. So that's, so I guess I have strong feelings about calling a ball out in a timely manner.
Yeah, I wonder how many other people have walked home. I mean, I don't think you're the only one. But I don't know anybody that would admit it.
Oh, I'll admit lots of stuff. What the heck?
How about people who don't like pickleball? I've never had an issue with anybody saying it's stupid or I don't like it.
Well, I don't have anyone say it's stupid, but my very best friend of 50 years, basically, it's not that she doesn't like it, but she doesn't play it, and she comes to parties at her house, and it's hard because most of our friends are pickleball players, and what do you talk about pickleball? I mean, I'm sure there's people that don't like pickleball. I think it's a small percentage of people that go out and start to play, and then I don't think my sister-in-law, she tried it. It was okay for her. But I think it's, some people just don't like it.
Yeah, it's seniors in the morning. So I played at night for the first time in years the other night. And yeah, it's a younger crowd. It's a younger crowd. Makes sense, right? They're working during the day. But I really enjoyed playing them.
And you played well.
I did.
They saw this old man walking on the court, and you played well.
Well, part of it is I have so much more experience than they do. I've seen every shot. I've seen a lot of people beat me, and I know kind of where the ball's going better, maybe. I know that Roger, what's his last name?
Lim,
L-I-M, has been doing a live ball thing. So I'm signed up to go to his live ball this Saturday in the 100-degree heat. Because I know they used to do that in tennis, and I'm curious as to...
So what is live ball? Because I don't know what live ball is.
I don't really know what it is. It's cardio. Somehow has you running around the court and hitting a ball. I don't know. That's why I want to go.
Yeah.
I've never done it. So, but we love you, Roger. You're a good guy.
Roger gave me a nickname, Flow Glow. Thank you, Roger. Because my normal nickname is Chicken Wing, because I hit the ball like this. And, a lot of people have these really cute names. Not me. And then when I hit my shot like that. I have this weird shot. Then you'll hear this
Buck, buck.
chicken noises. Dave Murata's really big on that. And Todd. They'll just start talking like a chicken.
And we had an experience in a tournament, San Diego, when I was a 5-0. He must have been a 3-5.
Yes, I was at 3-5.
And it was an SIPA tournament, which was over 60 and over. Super senior
tournament.
And so we signed up for 5-0.
Because we had to. Because if one partner's,
right.
I know, but maybe some people don't know. But,
okay.
There could be, if you have to sign up at the higher level.
Right. So we played 3 or 4 matches.
I think we played 5. It was a round robin.
And we lost every one.
Except for one.
And so then we're getting ready to go. And what happened?
So we're done. It was a round robin. It was fun. I mean, and so they said, okay, we're announcing the winners of the 5-0 60+ tournament. Or maybe it was under 60. And they're like, gold medal, Todd Johnson and Flo Trapani. And I'm like, oh my God, Todd, they made a mistake.
Yeah,
There's something,
this is
embarrassing. We won one game. They made a mistake. Yeah. So they're calling us over to the podium. They're like, come to the podium. So we go there and the tournament director's she's got the medals. I'm like, oh, no. Like, gosh, you guys made a mistake. We only won one game. We didn't win. She goes, oh, no. In SIPA, because we were the only 5-0 team, I think.
Yeah, we were the only 5-0. Everybody else was 4-5.
Everybody was 4-5. She goes, because you're 5-0, you won the gold. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. I said, I'm not taking my picture. She goes, oh no, if you don't, I have to. I'm bound by some rules or whatever that you have to take your picture. So we got up on the podium. It was just me and him, and took a picture. And typically I'll post on Facebook whenever we get to the podium in a tournament. I didn't even say a word about that tournament. I didn't. It was.
But it still applies today.
Yeah,
you can you can go in 3-5 and sign up for a 5-0, and if you're lucky, nobody else signs up for 5-0. You got a piece of something.
And plastic. Some people, they're proud of it. I'll see. Pickleball people are funny. We are supportive. We truly are, but we also can be human, I guess. And I've had people like call me and say, oh, did you see so-and-so? They posted that they got a gold or a silver in whatever tournament. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And they're like, oh, there was only two teams, so they got a silver, and really they got last, but they're all in there going, yay, I got a silver. I'm like, well, I don't do that, because that, to me, I came in last place. But some people are proud, they still competed and they got their medal.
Usually I don't care if they medaled. I ask how many wins and losses did you get.
Oh yeah, and some people could have 0 wins, and still
win a medal.
And they're still proud of the medal they won. Again, I said this once before. Everyone's got their own relationship with pickleball. That's not my relationship with pickleball.
I know you said last week that you want to get it on the podium.
Yep.
For me, what I want is to have 2 and 2. It's a good day if I win 2, lose 2. I go home. I had 4 matches. I'm good.
That's good.
But 2 and out is no fun, and I've done plenty of that. We won't talk about that. Okay, poaching. What do you think about poaching?
Oh my God. I think poaching. When I first played with somebody and poached from me, I was very insulted, and I didn't like it. I certainly don't like it.
You remember when that was?
Actually, I shouldn't say. Actually, it wasn't with me. Let me back that up a bit. We were in a tournament, Scott and I, and Scott was very, very good. Scott and I were really good partners together, and there was very little poaching. We played a team that the guy poached the whole game, just poached the whole game. And I even wrote something on Pickleball Forum, which I never do. I think I might have twice in my Facebook career wrote something on Pickleball Forum. And I said, this team, I don't understand how the weaker player, doesn't have to be the woman necessarily, but mixed doubles, typically it was. I don't understand how a female would want to, or the weaker player would want to play with someone and let the other person take their shots. I mean, literally run to their side of the court and take all their shots. And, you know, a lot of people agree with me. There was a couple players that said, oh, if I win a medal, I don't care. As long as I win a medal, my partner can take all my shots. And I just thought, you know, I guess for the pros, you make a lot of money, whole different story, right? Whole different category. But it's like, why would you play in a tournament, but you don't really get to play? I don't know. It still kind of bothers me when you're poaching the whole time. I poach being a lefty. I do poach, but I will never knock my partner off a court. Won't do it, even if it means that win or lose. I am not going to. I think it's disrespectful, and you know, if there's hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line, I don't know, but not, you know.
Well, Flo and I have been playing so long that she's the alpha, and and she's lefty, so we play even, right? It's like pretty much up the middle, you know, like we'll both swing.
Yeah.
But it surprises me sometimes when they play some other women. They say, "Oh, go take that. I want you to take more," and I'm not used to it. I don't know. It's just strange.
Well, but everyone, I mean, you know, everyone has an opinion about that. But
and my feet aren't really quick enough. You know, I'm no Dale Harris.
Yeah, Dale's really fast.
He's got such quick feet that you can get over there and get it and get back and not have a problem.
So this one team that we played, though, that the team I was saying earlier, poaching everything, plus that guy kept hitting me. He kept hitting me in the chest. And so he's a nice guy, though. And so what happened was I found out he, for some reason, was coming to Simi Valley to play one day. I don't know why. Good looking guy, really good player. So I went home and got my police vest. And then
Steve Schwab? No.
No, it wasn't. No. And I showed up at the courts and with my vest on, I said, come on, let's play. Let's play now.
And your helmet, right?
I don't know if I wore my helmet for that one. But maybe so, because maybe he hit me in the head too. Now I've learned, honestly, in tournaments now, people do that and I'm much better about it. I'll hit behind them. But it took me a while to do that.
So today I was talking to Ray De La Cruz and Susie Lauber about Agape, who's taken over the courts, operating the courts. They're an court operations contractor with Pleasant Valley Parks Department. And they also have Oxnard and a place in Fountain Valley that they run. So I guess the players are worried and not really happy, but they've taken some prime time over. And, you know, I just wonder if that's going to happen in Simi, and a little worried. I guess what happened in Pleasant Valley is they put out a request for an operator. I think, and all I can do is guess as to why they would put out a request. Maybe they had too many people that wanted classes and couldn't provide teachers. And this company came along and said, yeah, we can provide the teachers. We'll pay you this much amount and take over your courts.
Where do they get the teachers from? Are they like local instructors?
I don't know. If any of you know anything, I mean, I don't know why Camarillo did that, and I would like to know why they did that and how it's working out in Camarillo. All I got. If you want to know how I would play you, please send me an email at Simi Pickleball Podcast at yahoo.com. That's it?
That's
All right.
it.
Thanks. See ya. Well, that's one thing I see